Greetings, technology enthusiasts. I am Chandrahas and I am delighted to be here with you representing CyberBrainer. Do you not believe that the technology sector is advancing at an unprecedented rate, making this an opportune moment to acquire the skills that will facilitate your progress? With CyberBrainer, we are empowering you to take control of your own future. At CyberBrainer, we do not merely impart your interests. We assert that information is power, yet it is the application of knowledge that distinguishes you. Our courses are meant to equip you with essential skills, whether you are pursuing data science, understanding artificial intelligence, or delving into cybersecurity. Let us commence the session and seize the future today. Thank you.
We are going to discuss sales guys today. SLA is service level agreement right, which we have already discussed the theoretical part but very high level. We have discussed it today. Now we will try to configure SLA. Before going to SLA, I will tell you what is an SLA just to recap. I think it's every process or every task will be having some timeline defined right. You cannot take your own time like when you are doing. In any organization, every task has to be completed within some deadline, right? There will be some deadline for every task, correct? Every task will be having one particular timeline to actually complete the task, right? That is a deadline time, correct? The deadline is the last time. Like that is the timeline. Like by deadline, you have to complete your task. Suppose you have assigned a task to work on some user story. The deadline is 2 weeks me. The last final time is a 2 weeks time, correct? And you have a goal. Time goal is nothing but the best time to complete the task. Best time in the sense you can complete the task within 1 day. You can complete the task within 1 week. Goal is like. Goal is lesser when compared to a deadline. Goal is the best time to complete a task and deadline is the most extended time. The most time you will get in deadline. And before deadline you have a goal time. Is it clear? Is it clear till now? Now every task will be having some timeline defined. That timeline will be defining in SLS. The SSSS are the rules where we will monitor the timelines. Suppose you have assigned with one particular task. That task timeline has to be assigned by some other person, right? That is nothing but SLA. We will configure an SLA. Suppose you have raised a request. Suppose let's take this Go Road application only. You have raised a request for your flat tire. That flat tire request has to be completed at least in 1 hour or 2 hours. It should not take like 2 days or 3 days. If it is taking 2 days of time to fix your flat tire, what is the use of this application? You can book a cab and you can go right. Correct? That has to be fixed in some particular timeline. Every task will be having one timeline. Whenever you ordered your food from your Swiggy or Zomato, the delivery person has to be assigned within some 20 minutes or 15 minutes. It should not take like 15 minutes to assign a delivery person. Correct. It should not take some 1 day to assign a delivery person. It has to be done within some timeline. Correct. The timelines will be monitored by SLA. SLA have the rules where every task will be defining a timeline. Now we can define a timeline on a particular task. We can define a timeline on entire flow. Or else we can define a timeline on entire case type. Suppose you are placing an order in Swiggy. The timeline for the delivery person to pick up your food is 5 minutes. Let's say you and your food has to be delivered within 1 hour. And you have to provide a feedback within 5 hours. After you have completed your food, you have to provide a feedback. Now for assigning a delivery person, the timeline is 5 minutes. That is a task level SLA. That is an assignment level SLA. One particular assignment will be having SLA, and the food delivery process has to be completed within 1 hour. That is a flow level SLA. One particular flow, like placing an order, picking up by delivery person, and then delivering to you, is one flow. That is a flow level SLA, and providing a feedback like from starting and completing to your food. That is one entire case type, right? After you ate the food, that you have to provide a feedback for your food. You have to rate your food on your delivery partner. That will be a case level SLA. The SLA you can define in 3 places. One is assignment level, flow level, and case type level. Understood? Is this clear? See, the SLAs can be defined on either on entire flow or entire application lifecycle or on a small task. Click on the case type list, open assistance request case type. Can you repeat broadly SLA is categorized into? What are the 3 ways? No. Yes, are only one day that is not categorized. I can. But SLs can be configured at 3 places. One place is a flow level SLA. One place is a assignment level SLA, and another thing is a life cycle level SLA. If you click on assistance request shebang, the assistance request is there. First one, if you go to settings here, this is a life cycle, right? This application life cycle, if you go to settings, you have cells here. Come down. See, there is a goal and deadline, right? Goal and deadline. On the top you have scroll down. Goal and deadline. See here, you have to define your user service level agreement. You can see use service level agreement. See, if you define your SLA here, this is for your life cycle SLA. The entire life cycle will be using this particular SLA. That is, entire application has this SLA. Once anyone has created a case, that case has to be resolved in this particular timeline. If you have created a customer service request, suppose you have called some customer care and you have raised one complaint. That complaint level SLA will be there, right? The entire complaint has to be completed within this particular time. That SL, you will define it here. Understood? This is a case application lifecycle level SLA. Got. One question I have, like this SLA, things is like how it will work. Like suppose you have one SLA defined on flow, and then that flow suppose is not executed on that date. Is it? Is it failing in meeting the SLA, right? We are failing the SLA. We are failing the deadline time. Then I will show you how to configure how it works in the real time, in a real time. SLA is nothing but an agent which will run in a background. SLA is a Pega processor. There's one agent, Pega. I couldn't remember the name. I will show you. There is one agent in the background that will run on a server. Whenever you have defined SLA for 2 hours, once the 2 hours is completed, what it will do? It will actually perform the action which you have configured on SSLA. Suppose after 2 hours, you have configured notify manager. One notification will be triggered to manage it. That on task is pending from on person. That task is there, right? On which task you are referring an SLA, you can refer the SLA and lifecycle like this, or you can refer SLA and flow level also if you go to workflow tab. Go to workflow and come down. come down. You click on approval rejection. That approval no below, bottom one is there. You click on that icon. It will open a flow. Click on open process. Open process. On the right side you have it hyperlink. Now we saw an SLA for entire lifecycle. We can also define an SLA for this particular flow. To complete this approval step, you can define an SLA. You can go to Process tab. You can go to Process tab right on the top. You can define a SLA here. See service level agreement. Is there right? What up? Service level. If you define SLA, this SLA will be monitoring only this particular flow. It will not monitor entire lifecycle. Once this flow has started, this SLA will trigger, and if SLA time is 2 hours, you have to end this flow in 2 hours or else it will perform the action you have specified on SLA. Got. And also SLA can be defined on a task level. Go to a top, go to the flow diagram. First tab. You can also define SLA. Suppose prompt for enrollment is one task, right? That is an assignment. You can define your SLA on the assignment. You double click on that assignment. You have to come down. You have a task level SLA here. Not able to talk. SLA go, scroll up. See, you have SLA there. Service level. Now let's create a case. Now there is no SLA on this particular task, right? Let's create a case and see how it is behaving without SLA. And we will create one SLA and see how it is behaving with SLA. Now before that, go to Lifecycle, Application Lifecycle. Assistance request is there in first tab. Application Lifecycle. Second one. Second tab on the top, assistance request. After log, this is a lifecycle. Click on the stages and steps. Go back to stages and steps. That back icon. Now let's say something. Let's modify this lifecycle. There is some. If you want to go to this approval rejection, someone has to reject, right? Then it will come below. Let's modify in a way such that the case will come here directly. Go to the top. Click on the validate request. Click on validate request. No below validate step. Click on the step. Click on the address. Click on the right. Decision and scroll condition. Click there. Select always. Oh, it will not go for validate request. It will always end. Go to change rejection state. You click on change rejection state below next step. Is there right? Click on. No, not there in a step. In a below the validate request where you are cursing, click on the step change rejection state. See, it will go to approval rejection. Approval rejection is our stage below. We are seeing right what will happen when we create a case. It will complete the create stage. It will come to validation. Inside validation, we have configured to jump to approval rejection. It will not go to service, it will come below. You have kept always. You come to approval rejection, you understood. Just for our understanding, because we are configuring SLA here right below. You got my understanding what I'm trying to say. Yes, just save this one, save this one. Now launch the portal and just create a case. Launch the portal, create a case as a standalone. On the write assistance, we have modifying assistance request only write. Just one click is fine. Assistance request. It will open up slowly. You need not enter anything. Just click on continue. We need to look on the below right approval rejection state. This also you need not enter. These are not required fields, right? You need not enter. Click on continue. You need not enter. Actually here you have required fields. You just enter make and model. You enter and model also. You try to enter. Anything is open, right? Anything. Anything is fine just as a required field set. We are entering some random data. You just enter. I don't know. You can enter test or something. You can click on create. You just submit it. These are not required fields. It went for payment information. After payment information, it will go to approval. We have routed approval to approval. Rejection right you saw in a life cycle. It will directly go for enrollment. I guess this is all we were building right in the new application. This is what is already inbuilt in GoGo application, correct? This is already built on application for students, right? It will be. You just close this one new vendor. You just close on the top. You have close, right? You have click on new vendor case type. Now you are at. You just submit this one validation. Why did you turn to validation? Should not go to validation. I wish case stuff does not be your time that we says 1 second. You click on that. On the left side, you have S1. Right click on the S1. Click on this one. Click on assistance request. Go to parent. Wait for service company. Click on go. You have wait for service completion. Right click on why it went to. It has to come down right. Click on go, just go. Click on yes, continue. I think we need to change some. We have to make some change. Go to your lifecycle, application lifecycle. You have you. Go to previous tab. We are on 1 second. You click on validate request one more time. Click on validate request. No, not service. Validate request is, I think, you click on validate existing. Click on existing condition. Click on existing condition. Try to keep custom neutral condition. Preview will appear. You can click. You can give existing condition. Only you can give existing condition and always click on end without go. Go to click on end. Click there. You click on change to rejection state. Now you save it, it will come down. Now you try to create a it has to follow the below path. Actually, it is following the happy path. We are making the case to forcefully come down. Continue, continue, continue. You give some information here. It went for prompt for enrollment, right? See, it went to approval, rejection, prompt for enrollment. Go to your life cycle and you see you are at what place you are there. You are there at below. Come down, scroll down. You are at alternative stage. Come down, here you are there. Prompt for enrollment. Why you went for prompt for enrollment without going for validate request? Because you have modified the condition there. It otherwise go to change rejection state. Right from change rejection state, it was coming to this approval rejection. Got it. You have forcefully made the case to come to this point. Yes, now we are at prompt for enrollment assignment. This is one assignment. Now you are user. Now the system is asking you. The system is asking, do you want to enroll? Do you want to enroll? System is asking if you go to the screen. Is asking, yes, I want to enroll. No, I not at this time. No, don't submit now. Click on cancel. This is one assignment. Click on cancel. Click on. Now you are at this assignment. See prompt for? I say prompt for enrollment is assignment. If you click on go, it will open that assignment. If you click on go, it will open that assignment. Now click on cancel. Now user is waiting at this particular screen. Now there is no timeline defined. Now there is no timeline defined. User can complete the screen at whatever time he want. Right? You understood. Now there is no SLA defined on this particular task. Right? If you go and open that assignment shape, there is no SLA defined. User can go to flow. You have already opened the last tab. Approval rejection is there in flow. If you open the prompt for enrollment, you are at this particular assignment. There is no SLA defined. Right? There is no timeline defined. User can come and completed this task after some 1 year. Also, that does not happen right in real time. The cases should not get opened like this. It has to resolve, right? Cases should not open in the system for us that long time. Right? There must be some task timeline correct. You just take a screenshot, go to assistance, request you just that case. You go, you have that case. And next, just take a screenshot of this case and paste it in some paint or somewhere or in some Word document. Because I screenshot, I took you have. You just paste that image in somewhere. It was saved somewhere. Write a 3. Now we will try to configure SOAR on this assignment and create a case again, and let's see the difference. Now before creating an SLA, click on go, click on go. If user doesn't enter any information here and if he submits, is because this is not a required field. Right? Go to your flow and see how actually flow behaves. Go to flow if there's a decision here. One decision is for enroll and one is for else condition. Right on enroll, if you double click on the connector, there is an enroll connector. Right, not that connector. Enroll from decision shape, there is one. Double click on that connector. You can click on the crosshair icon. it will open the when condition. See here, if user is selecting yes, it will follow this path. If you supposed you want to enroll is a question, right? If he selects yes in the screen, go to flow, go to your flow, it will follow here. Click on cancel, it will follow this particular path. If he doesn't select anything, it will follow. Yes, it will follow else path. It means if he doesn't select anything, or if he selected no because it's an else condition, right? You understood the conditioning here, how we are doing. If he select yes, it will follow the above path. If he selects no, or if he didn't select anything, it will follow the below path. Right now, you don't select anything. Now what should happen? If he doesn't select anything and clicks on submit, what it should happen? It should send an email, right? Then rejection, it has to send an email notification to customer. You just don't submit it, don't select anything and click on submit. Let's see whether email was getting triggered or not. Now you see the attachments there on the right side. You have one arrow right pointing towards on the right side beside resolution 1. There is one attachment attached to the case. Click on that attachment. Files and documents. Click on that attachment. You click on. The pop-up is blocked right on the top. You are on the URL bar on the right. Click on the red color. One red color, first one, first one, first one, first one. No, I'm not getting on the top all. You have one red color icon, right first icon, that icon. No, that icon. Correct. Click there, done. That one blocking. You have low, you allow that pop up, always allow and click on done and click on the assistance request. Now the email was triggered generally. You haven't configured the email because you haven't entered the from address to address anything you haven't entered. There is an error sending an email. That email integration you have to configure first and then you have to. If you have used this particular assignment, that shape, then it will trigger the email to your personal emails also. But you understand, right? It is triggering because see, nothing was mentioned here, Pega service type. But this is the POC application, right? You cannot do the integration. Yes, you understood right. Say we haven't selected anything there, case went in this manner. Yes, the email was triggered and it was attached to the case. In this email template also, we can change, right? We can customize everything. You can go to that smart shape in a flow, go to your flow. You can double click on the send email rejection. You can publicly there. You can configure whatever the customization you want. You can do it here. Come down, see they have composed a message right in that message. Only you are able to see on the screen. See, we are sorry to inform that only you are seeing on the last tab. Go to email, last tab is there in a browser. You have a last tab, right? No view email tab. Last one, the same message you are seeing. Right? Yes, you can customize. You can do total customization. Got it. You understand that. If you didn't selected anything and there is no SLA here now, your user has submitted manually. It went to the rejection and it has sub. It has triggered an email. Now let's configure SLA. We haven't configured SLA till now. Now we go into configure now what we have understood. Now we have understood the existing behavior without SLA. Now we will configure SLA on that assignment and we'll see how actually it is behaving. Double click on this, and before going ahead, just to quick check recently, whatever we have seen that email icon, and that is usually the where Pega platform shows like email is sent and user can actually see in the system only like this email is triggered to that respect to user correct. We can see on the case level. See, that is again dependent on your application. In some applications, there will be correspondence stuff. Email is nothing but sending correspondences with some notification kind of thing. There, you can see here in this user interface. You can see here in some other applications. Some other clients will customize the user interface right there. There also, they can see, but at a different place might be at a different place. Sometimes see in our client, in our project, there is a requirement stating that no correspondences should attach to the case. Even if email was triggered, it should not attach to the case. Here it was attached as an attachment, right? That is based on a client requirement. It will happen in my client requirement. Client is saying that I don't want any attachments to be attached. At that time, you have to customize the existing code in such a way that you have to remove that attachments. Got it. Then user cannot see whatever the mail is triggered from the system. User cannot see from here, but user can see from audit. Go to your case. Go to your case as Shivangni assistance request. Is there right? You click on actions. Click on actions. Click on actions here. Audit yesterday. I have explored right here. I can see the audit history, view history. Click on history, view history. This is a history like who has performed on this case. This is called audit. This is an auditing of a case. This particular case was performed by author. See here, we will audit. See, the correspondence has been attached. Assistance case rejected. Similarly, we will audit some other message for my client. Why will audit? Like the email has been triggered. You just verify something. Some message we will audit. Yes, this is called case auditing. You can come down. You can see from the starting. Whatever steps you have performed, everything will get audited. You can customize this auditing also. You have item was created, you have selected on. That everything, the timeline, the dates, everything will get audited. Yes, sir, what is it with the CASA? I think it's a customer representative. It is based on your operator ed. You have logged in as author, right? It is coming as author in. If you have logged in with your operator, you will. It will get your name there, got it. This is an audit history. We will be auditing in our application. Also, we will be auditing. Auditing isn't very important to debug the case. What, how? Actually case mode from one step to another step. Now go to your flow. We will configure an SLA here. You write some name, some random name. You can give test SLA or some name. You give a call, you give test SLA or some random name. You can give test SLA or some random name. You can create a rule. You haven't. This rule is not existed, right? You have to create in a system. You just click on create a note. Now you can see the configurations here. Assignment write immediately whenever that assignment was created. Then itself it will start triggering the SLA. Now immediately you can click on the drop down. You have another option, click on the drop down. Instead of immediate, dynamically defined time delayed. You can delay some time. Whenever assignment was created, you can delay some 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, this will start triggering. You can enter how much time you can delay. No, don't give the delay now because we have to wait for 5 minutes. You just keep immediately, and below you see there is a goal and below you have deadline. There's a goal time and deadline time, right? Goal and deadline. Goal is like the best time to complete the task. Goal is always less than deadline. The deadline is the longest time where user have to finish the task. Goal is the less time deadline is. Deadline must be greater than goal time. Let's now keep goal as 1 minute. Goal as 1 minute. You just keep in minutes, is there it. You can keep 1 minute and deadline is something around 2 minutes. Or you can keep 2 minutes. Now let's see. Suppose you have this assignment was created at 10 o'clock. Goal. Goal will be there until 10:01 and deadline will be there from for 10 to only. It will calculate from starting itself, like it will not there until 10 to 3. It will be there on 10 until 2 only. The deadline will be counting from the goal time. Suppose you have a sprint. Sprint is for 2 weeks. 2 weeks is a deadline and goal is like 1 week. The deadline will get calculated. 2 weeks will get calculated from starting. It will not get calculated after goal time was done. Got it right? Yes, now you can perform an action. You can click there. Actions is there. It on deadline or no not. And past deadline. There I can see time past deadline even 2. One is there. If a past deadline is a positive is like after 2 minutes is done. Generally, we will not use passive deadline. Passive deadline is a repetitive task. See, the goal is done. The deadline is done. Now the passive deadline came. Passive deadline is like we will keep on notifying the people, keep on notifying the managers. How many emails should we trigger in the past deadline? Suppose you need to submit a timesheet. The goal time to submit a timesheet is Friday morning and the deadline time to submit a timesheet is like Friday evening. Now, if you haven't submitted the timeline by goal is also reached. Friday is also completed. You haven't submitted the timeline. No Monday came. You will see some system triggered emails. Right, keep on triggering mails like submit your timesheet. Submit your timesheet. That is a passive deadline in passive deadline. Generally, it's a repetitive task. You have to mention the limit there. If you have mentioned 5 in the limit, it will notify 5 times. It will perform the action 5 times. You got it. The scenario the timesheets, you can easily relate, right? Yes, timesheets. You will have to submit the timesheet by Friday evening. The deadline is Friday evening, but if you haven't submitted from Monday morning, you will get the emails right. Write in that email. Sometimes you will. Sometimes you will loop in the manager also you will. Manager also will get looped in sometimes. Right? That is a passive deadline. A pass, it got the concept. But as right now we can see in past deadline there is a 1. That is what a minute or that is what the reminder counts. No, that is a reminder count. If you keep 5, it will perform the action. You have action right on the right side. I want that action will be done 5 times. Whatever action will specify there that particular action will be done. Fine, if it is 1, it will do for 1 time. It's a count. It's a count and sets, and besides every year we can say goal, deadline and past deadline. There is an amount to increase urgency. Is that exactly? Urgency for there is a concept called get next work. Urgency, you use it there. Now we'll know. This agency is like suppose you have just created a case. Just now, customer has raised a complaint. The agency is very less. When the goal time also reached, no one has completed that complaint. Then the agency will increase the urgency, means the urgency to perform that this case will get increased. You go to the top of Shivanjini. There is initial urgency on the top. Here we need to write down the numbers. Correct the total urgency must be 100. Total urgency must be 100. The initially there is no urgency. Initially you can keep initial urgency as 10. Also 10, 25 they will give. Generally initial urgency is left 10. You can keep 10 there, and after goal time was reached, you can increase the urgency by 15. If you keep 50, you have right on the right side. If you keep 25 or 15 after the goal time was reaching, the case agency will go to 25. You haven't completed the task and the deadline also reached. Now the goal, you can specify deadline as something like 75. Now this is a super urgent case because the deadline was also reached. You have to complete the task. You understood? Now for deadline, let's configure an action. Click on the action. Come down, click on the action. Select action. Select action. See now, let me tell you now, the industry is following automated process. Even if users are not there, system will take the decisions and it will automate. Suppose there is one task was created. Now you haven't performed any action on particular task. After the time was elapsed, system will take the decision what it has to do and it will perform the task. It will not wait for user intervention. Got? Let's select an action. Click on select action. I'll show you. Now below you have it perform. The drop down. Now click on perform. Action is there. You select advanced flow. Advanced flow. See what we are doing here. After 2 minutes, if user hasn't taken any action on the task, system itself will advance the flow. Understand? And advance then parameters. Flow action. It is asking it. Go to your flow. Flow is there. Go to your flow. Don't create. Don't create. Go to your cancel. Go to your flow. That flow is there. It approval, reject flow. But click on cancel. You open the flow action here. You double click on the connector. Flow action is present on a connector. That flow action has to be submitted right. Prompt for enrollment. You were creating an SLA on this assignment, right? Open that. Flow action. Copy that. Prompt for enrollment. Give that flow action there. On the new tab. Is there, right? You understand what you are doing here. Whenever the deadline time is reached, you are telling the system to advance the flow. Without user clicking on submit, system will directly submit it. Confused. Can you tell one more time? What I am telling, what we are configuring here is, like you in the screen, use system is asking for yes or no, right? Suppose you have left the task like that. You are not performing on the task. Now 2 minutes was already done. Now the goal time was completed and the deadline is also completed. Now, once the deadline is completed, what is the action you are giving? Prompt for advanced flow. The action is advanced flow, right? It will submit on its own system, will submit that screen on its own, and it will actually advance. You got it. Now to advance that one, we have to tell that one right. You have to tell the system which what you have to advance. You have to advance the flow action. After that assignment, you have that flow action only right on the connector. You are telling the system you advance that particular flow. You submit the flow action and you just go ahead. Got? Now you save this one, save this one. We'll see what is the difference. How? What is the difference? It's coming. Go to your flow. You just assign this LA to the task. You open that. You refer this LI here. You are adding an SLA here. Double click. SLAU. You click on down arrow. You will get that SLA you have already created, right? Task test SLA. Now you submit it, save it and create a case. And let's see the change. You have taken a screenshot, right? You just to keep it handy, open that screenshot. Now this is a screenshot. Now go and create a case. Go on create a case. Now it will create a 4. This is an A3 case. I'll just click on continue. We don't require all those stuff. Just enter the identify vehicle, some data, model, some model you can enter. Just click on create. Those are not required. Those are not required. Just submit. And no, click on cancel. Click on cancel. See the do there. Do is coming due 2 minutes from now. You see the inner screenshot do there. There is no cell. Now here we are in the user that the deadline is 2 minutes from now. And you close this case. You can close this. Close in the sense go to your left side, go to left navigation. No, over to the exchange. You click on reasons. You click on reasons. Where it is. Over to the left. There you have reasons, it on the top. You open a 3. This is a 4, right? You just open a 3 and let's wait for 2 minutes. We should not open and keep in our log. We are in a 3. Generally, what will happen if you have opened that case? The SLA will think that you are still working on the case and it will get skipped. But in real time, the task time will not be like 2 minutes, right? It will be like 1 hour minimum, right? 1 hour, like half an hour. It will be there, right? By the time you will release the lock. There is a concept of locking in Pega. Whenever some case is in your lock, no one can update that case. If suppose you have opened the 3 case, that case is in your lock. That rule is there, right? SLA will not able to forward the case. You have opened a different case. That lock will be in this particular case. No SLA can able to submit that case. You understood? Confused? Should I repeat? There is the concept called locking in Pega. What is the locking is like? One particular case can only be updated by one particular person. One particular person at a point of time. At a given point of time. Now a for is the case which was all. That case is in lock with your operator. Means lock innocence. You are working on that case. The system will assume you are working on this case. Lock. The lock time will be ideally 30 minutes. After if suppose you haven't performed anything until 30 minutes, you will lose that lock. Then you have lost that lock. That system can perform on that case. Now, you cannot wait for 30 minutes, right? We have opened a different case. When you have opened the different case, automatically lock on. The previous case will be lost. Lock is nothing but it will tell the system that operator is working on it. And now operator is working on a 3 and a 4 is unlocked. Correct. A 4 is unlocked that the SLA can process the case. It will move ahead. Exactly. We need to wait for 2 minutes and then come back to a 4. Is it correct? Correct. Let's wait for 2 minutes because the deadline time will reach and the system will take care of that case. And in audit history, if you click on actions or like actions and history here, you are getting your name, right? History. You are getting your own name, right? If you click on history here, you are getting performed by author, right? Now, if some agent performs here, you will get the performed by agent service level agreement. Means the system has performed the task. Let's wait for 2 minutes. I think 1 minute is already done. Most of the times, what will happen for testing purpose? In real-time applications, how it will be there? The goal and deadline will be. Sometimes the goal will be 2 months. Sometimes the goal will be 3 months and the deadline will be 5 months. Or sometimes the goal and deadline will be something like 2 days, 5 days, 1 week, like that. For testing purpose, the QA team to test this SLA rule. They cannot wait for that such long time, right? They will ask the developers to reduce the time. That they will test that action, whether that action is performing correctly or not. I think you can open that case. 2 minutes is done, right? I didn't saw the time. You can open. I am also not sure whether it will move or not, but it has to move. See A4, the task is done and the email was triggered already. 3 minutes ago. And you can see the audit. For better understanding, you can see the audit. Who has performed whether the order or SLA. You can see the audit there. Audit where? Go to the case. Yes. Click on actions. View history. Audit is history. Audit history. See who has performed. Performed by service level agent. After 2 minutes, what the agent has done. Agent has automatically submitted the case. Understood. Until here, other has done on this particular case. See, you can see the audit history. Goal time reached. After 1 minute, goal time was reached. After 2 minutes, like again, the deadline time was reached. And it was mentioned that executing SLA action advanced flow. We have mentioned the advanced flow, right? On the step, there you can see right. Here to timestamp 11.7 when the 11.7 starting is there. On the top of it, you can see on the top the next audit. Executing SLA action advanced flow. And it was advancing. See the assignment to prompt the customer to decide whether enrolled was completed by performing. It was performed. It was performed by agent. Here, see this advanced flow was actually nowadays they are using frequently. Why they are using? If user is not there, also system can take its own action. Now, here we had one. You can ask me one question like, what if user wants to suppose business is telling by default? Select yes. Here, the system is here. Here, the system is not selecting anything and submitting, right? Just submitting. If the business requirement is like I need yes, the system has to select yes and it has to submit. You understand the question? Or a bit confusing? Coming in that question, in the screen there is yes and no questions, right? In that enrollment screen there is yes question and no question, right? No question. The agent is directly submitting. It is taking the else path. And it is taking the email. It is taking the email. Now there is a business requirement that the agent should go in a different path. If it is not selecting anything. If it is not, it's not like that. The agent has to select yes by default. There is a requirement that the agent has to select yes. It should not select no or it should not select anything. It should select yes. Now, what should you have to do? Go to your SLA rule. Go to your SLA rule. Test SLA is there already opened in the last tab. Now, before performing the action, click on plus icon in the deadline. Come down into the deadline. Still now. Here you select an action, you drag it to the top. There is some 6 dots right. You hover your mouse there, drag it to the top. Drag it to the top. Before advancing the flow, we have to select yes, right? Before advancing the flow, you have to select yes. Drag it to the top. No, not that top. It comes to the text. Deadline. You hover on the select action. You drag it at once, go to the bottom. No, you have to select. You have to hover your mouse on the dots. Dots is there. See no, just come down. Now its select action is there. You just click on select action. You select data transform. Oh, there's no data. Apply data transform. Is there a click on update? Now you create one data transform. Like set enrollment. That is a when rule. That is a when rule. It will create a when rule because you have clicked crosshair icon on beside when rule right. On data transform, you can click on the crosshair icon, create a new data transform. Double click no below, you have right. Data transform parameters time. Here you create one data transform like set enrollment, some name set enrollment. You click on create and open. Now you click on dot. You have to set it manually here. that the system will set in the background. Click on dot. No, set only on the target. You click on dot. This one or this one. On the target you just enter dot. You will get properties. Is there anything like do you want to enroll? You have do you want to enroll property, right? And set that property to yes in double quotes. Now save it. Now what will happen? System will first set this to yes. That whenever it is advancing the flow, it will take the top decision path. You understood? Go to your SLA rule. The test SLA is there. Now you save this one and you'll see how you have configured. First of what it will do? You enter the data transform name. I think you haven't entered. Click on down arrow. Go to the test SLA. Go to the test SLA rule. Come down. The error. It is saying that value cannot be blank. You click on the apply data transform. Click on edit. See the data transform name. You haven't entered here. Row you have created but you haven't referred here. Click on down arrow. You will get you are setting it before advancing the flow. You just save it. Now you save it. You understand the error. What error you have got. Now you go and create a case. Now it will take the yes path. And you have to wait for 2 minutes. It will take the yes path. Now click on cancel. Click on cancel. It has 2 minutes from now, right? You close this case or you open any other case. That lock will be moved. Now what it has to happen? It has to take the above path, go to the flow. Previously what SLA did? SLA has submitted into the rejection path, right? The bottom path, and it has triggered the email, right? Now it has to go to next assignment. Collect enrollment. Information is there. It has to move to that assignment because you are setting it to yes. In the data transfer, this assignment and this assignment is something different. There is a time icon for the first assignment. That is like you have configured SLA. Whenever there is something, you can realize the difference. The thing where the time icon is there, that assignment means that there is an SLA. Got. If you have created SLA on this particular assignment, then you will get time icon here also. Now you have given yes, right? Now what we will do? For business requirements, system will by default select yes. It will move towards the next assignment. Got. And one more thing you have to follow, guys. Like whenever you are working on SLA, you have to check in the rules. Here there is no check-in and check-out in it. But whenever you are working on SLA, if you want to change, see the changes. You have to check in the rules. Don't make it in your private edit. You know, right? What is private edit and check-in? You have to check in. You have to. Whenever you make a change, you will check out, right? After you check out, you have to check in. Then only the changes will be visible. after 2 minutes. Let's wait for 1 more minute time. It's all the time. You understood, right? Any questions? SLA is an agent. Background. There is an agent. You click on records. She's going to need records. Is there? On the left side. Red. This is an interview question. Okay. Click. Expand the sysadmin. Sysadmin is there. Last but third. Click on agents. Pega Chrome. Now I remembered. The agent name is Pega Procom. There will be Pega. Pega Procom is there in the middle. Send. Pega Procom. That was Pega Procom. Click on that. Pega Procom. That is the agent in the background. That is responsible for SS. You see the first one. Service level events is there. That is an agent. You expand the service level events. Expand it. Inside there will be one. This is our internal process. This is all Pega internal processing. This is an interview question. How actually SLA works is like SLA is also an agent. Agent is nothing but a background process. It will take care. We need not do anything. In a background, it will run. Whenever the time is reached, it will take care. Got. Like any questions? Background processing, all events. Agenda processing. These are the background processing, or these are the agent subtypes from that. The agent is Pega Procom. Inside Pega Procom, you have again service level events agent. That agent is a background that is responsible for your SLS. Like whenever you have, like not only one SLA, it can take care of like a number of SLS. You have many SLS will be there in application. It will take care. That is not an our issue. It is already configured by Pega systems. This is a background. How we are doing. Now you go and check that case. Case is there. I think, or I am not sure. I think it went to collect enrollment information. Understood. It actually didn't went to send email. It went to collect enrollment. It has selected yes by default. You can see the actions there. Actions and audit. You can see audit history, view history. There you can see how this time the case has performed. See, it is advancing the flow, but it didn't trigger the email. There is no rejection flow here. There is no rejection. There is no. See, there is no SLA on this assignment, right? This case will stay like this. This case will get stayed in the system for how many years you want. That many years it will stay. No, if someone is. If suppose no one has processed on this case will stay open only. It is not resolved. You understand it. The SLA is how to configure the SLA. If you want to make it to a different path, you have to set that in data transform, the conditions. Like whatever the conditions that is making true, you have to set those conditions in data transform. The main thing is goal deadline and how actually SLA is working based on that agent. What SLA can do? SLA is a time-bound process. If suppose the timeline was expired, the action. Based on a business requirement, the action. They will tell you, if suppose this time is done, you have to notify manager, then you have to select that action. You have the action, many actions are there. On SL, go through the action, go to the SLL rule, go to the designer studio. You can see, open SLL rule. A, you can click on select action. You can give an action Goal is reached also. Not only for deadline, for goal also. You can select an action. You can select an action. Click on select action. There are many. As here, many actions here. You can notify manager. You can notify the assignee only. You can run the activity. Whatever you want, you can do. These actions will be defined by business. Business will tell you, I want this particular action here, that you can configure that action. Understood. The goal time, deadline time, how to configure SLA, where to refer the SLA. The SLAs can be referred on assignment shape, flow level, or case type level. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.